Good afternoon, everyone. This is your very own Buddy Block reporting it. Anyways, I was going to upload a video this morning, but the reason why I didn't was because, this past weekend I got to see Age of Ultron twice, and it was a really good film. But, my morning video was just a rant of just pure weed and wank. Just like some pointers of, just things that were handled in the movie that really bothered me. Particularly concerning the character of Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. But other than that, the movie was enjoyable to an extent. I did really enjoy the spectacle, like the fight scenes and all the visual effects and all that stuff. That was really nice. And some of the characterizations were pretty good, particularly those of Tony, minus the rape joke he makes about the prima noctis. That's just like a loaded, historical quote that a lot of people have used, in terms of like raping and pillaging, peasant women. The noblemen would take advantage of these women of supposed lower class, because what could they do? They were supposedly like the big head honchos and all that, they controlled the land, and if they pointed the finger, they could have anybody executed, just upon a whim. But anyways, enough about, history lessons that I learned very briefly today. It was a good film. I really enjoyed the design of Ultron. It was really cool, except until he got kind of puffy, with this kind of quote-unquote upgrade he gave himself, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and, blah, blah, blah. Just a lot of things about Natasha that I really didn't like, especially, the whole, like, Bruce-Natasha romance thing. Like, what even was that? Where did that come from? Last I checked, Bruce backhanded her into a wall, as the Hulk, and would have proceeded to have killed her hadn't Thor intervened, when he did. And it was great that Thor intervened, but I wouldn't have expected that sort of thing. But, Joss Whedon, he has a history of all sorts of stuff and things he's written, things he's contributed to, just things he's worked in. But, I'm not really too savvy on his line of work, and all I saw was like a summation of things he's done, things he's written, things he's had characters say, the way he's treated some actors, in terms of characters, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Weed and wank. That's all I can say. But other than that, yesterday it was Mother's Day, and I had a pretty good time. My elder sibling came down to visit, the Saturday beforehand, but unfortunately my mom had to take the night shift, so my sister missed her window of opportunity. So that's why we went to go see Age of Ultron. It was really nice. It was really nice. But, I did express my dissatisfaction with some things, and, she was like, oh, why do you gotta be such a hater? It's like, well, are you thinking that, like, some criticism, from a fan's perspective is just hating? No, I'm making some good points. There are some things that I didn't like, not because, like, oh, Joss Whedon sucks, blah, blah, blah. No, just the way things were handled. Especially the whole, like Natasha being infertile and she's suddenly calling herself a monster. No, that sort of thing is just disgusting. No one is a monster for those kind of things. That was outside of her control. Sorry, I'm getting to weed and wank. I'm going to stop here, but just know that just because someone is infertile, they have been sterilized, does not in any shape, way, or form make them a monster. That is not cool. That is not cool. But, just things. They're out of my control. What can I do as a fan? Just express my dissatisfaction, and the director who wrote this darn thing deletes his Twitter account because whatever, right? I don't know the whole story, but he has a history, from what I heard. Yeah, so yesterday was Mother's Day, and we went up to the mountains, and there wasn't any reception there, which was fantastic, and we went to this little restaurant called The Gateway, which is up in Three Rivers. It was really good food. Very heavily priced, which hurt me personally, it was just like, oh my gosh, freaking high prices on this stuff. But I had ribs, but unfortunately I got a little nauseous on the way up there because a lot of winding roads, and the roads get really narrow up there, let me tell you. And yeah, so I had like a little bit of pressure in my gut, so I couldn't really eat a lot of food. But when we were heading back, we got some ice cream at Reimer's, and that was delicious. I love ice cream from Reimer's. It's really good. If you're ever around that area, I really recommend the ice cream, given it's not too full. There were a lot of people because, Mother's Day, going out for some lunch, some dinner. It's a thing, a lot of people do that. But if you don't really have a good relationship with your mother, like a lot of people do, some people have grown up in an abusive household. Some people have lost their mother throughout their lives, even before, they got enough you know, consciousness to really fully acknowledge, you know, this person who's given him life and all that stuff. You know, I hope you had a really good day. And if it wasn't a good day, my condolences. But yeah, enough about me. I hope you have a good day. If it isn't a good day, treat yourself to a little something. Until we meet again next time, and I really hope you do. Bye.